The belt-tightening continues as the MCK announced its 2014-2015 budget. We asked Grand Chief Mike Delisle what challenges the community will face in the coming year and in the foreseeable future.
Well, I think first they have to understand that it is a zero-balance budget, which means that we've met expectations this year, but we did again have to go into the savings account, so to speak, appropriated funds to cover off and become a zero balance. We've taken pride in assuring that services to the community wouldn't be affected this fiscal year, 2014-15. There's going to be some changes. We don't know exactly what yet. Operational review is going to continue. We've launched comprehensive financial plan, which means we're taking a better eye, if not a closer eye, in terms of some of the monies that come in and go out in terms of expenses. So there will be some changes, but again, this year no services will be affected.
Right now, because the cost of a lot of the programs that we have they've been reduced over the last couple of years. Our operations team and budget managers have done a really good job in terms of trying to streamline their operations and reducing expenses in areas that are possible. But ultimately, some difficult decisions had to be made. If you look at the budget press release, there's 4 key areas that we used. The first one was actually a decision that was made in early January, and that's to not provide the cost of living adjustment to our employees, which is an approximate savings of $250,000.
We're looking for cooperation from the community. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not that we're poor or broke or in a deficit at this point. We do have reserves, but we're continuously depleting them. And if we do that in the next 4 years, we won't have any more reserves. So we need to look for money. We need to look for some type of revenue generator that will help the operations of the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake to better serve the community.
Well, we don't want to take measures as other governments have, where we're going to do a big major downsizing exercise or a major budget slash. The different initiatives that we have going right now through the organizational review and our comprehensive financial plan is to look at where we can decrease costs by minimally affecting our employees. Naturally, they are going to be affected, but we would rather do it in a way that is best manageable and has less impact on the employees. So they're not going to expect, and they shouldn't come to expect, some massive downsizing exercise. Things will change, things will get streamlined. If it's determined that certain services, let's say, need to be decreased, or the level of service needs to be decreased, then it's possible that we won't need all of the employees that we have. But it'll be based on the need of the service, not to say, okay, let's eliminate 10 positions. And I think everyone is committed to this, including Chief and Council.
We've taken measures such as people who have left either for retirement purposes, good for them, congratulations, or for whatever other personal reasons, they weren't backfilled, meaning no one else, there have been no new hires. And we've asked, again, community members, employees to say, can you help us alleviate that burden and distribute some of that work? So we're looking to do more with less or less with less, as some have said. So you are right in saying it is going to affect, but right now we're looking at assuring that services are provided and as least impact as possible in the future for employees as well.
The last fiscal year, there was 8 vacant positions or positions where somebody had retired or left the organization. And by not filling those, we were able to reduce the budget by about $300,000. Which again is a credit to the people within the organization who are able to pick up the slack and pretty much do more than what they were expecting to do for the upcoming fiscal year.
Where is the responsibility for Dewa Dunizakta in all this?
Excellent question. We are going to be meeting with them. We met with them this morning on a separate issue about revenue generation as well. We're going to be setting up a meeting in the near future in probably the month of April after fiscal year and budget, because they go through the same issues as we do. Everyone's busy, to sit down and talk about revenue generation and the sharing of the wealth, so to speak. Dewa Dunizakta law speaks to it. It's the first time probably since 1999 that we'll have that kind of conversation. We understand they've built up their coffers for investment purposes and the future of Kahnawake in terms of businesses, which is their mandate. But because of the constraints on the budget and need to replenish some of those reserves, we're going to be having discussion with them. I think it's more of a partnership. The law speaks to that, and we need to have that type of dialogue with them to assure again that we're solid on solid footing.